Alright, so in this video I'll be working on some optical illusions, or some different checkered pattern shapes. I was looking at some different art styles earlier, and this is called optical illusion art, and I feel like it's an untapped market when it comes to art style. There's a lot of different things you could do with these simple checkered pattern shapes and create different illusions. Here, this is the first time that I'm trying to do anything with it, and the first little sketch you can see is probably my favorite. You have a little doorway and this curved hole that kind of melts into the ground. What I was going for were some very tall pillars, and then it slowly transitioned into a castle looking design, and there's some different stairways, and then towards the bottom of the page there's some different squares that get smaller and smaller. I tried coming up with some original stuff here. Okay, I tried my best. And then on the right there's a cube, kind of like a Rubik's Cube, what I did a few days ago. All in all, I think this was a pretty successful try here. It got my brain working a little differently. I find when I try to draw new things, different art styles, attempt to create things that I've never done, my brain starts functioning in a different way. Sometimes it's good, and other times it just kind of deteriorates. But for this, I feel like my mind has kind of expanded. I'm seeing different shapes and patterns that I haven't before, and so it's giving me more images in my head of what I could do next. But I just like checkered pattern. It just looks nice, okay? Where you don't see these kind of tiled patterns too often, well, depending on where you live, but you might have some cool architecture around you, or you may live by some huge, massive, beautiful structures. Now that I think about it, I haven't really seen any castles in real life, probably because I live in the desert in Arizona, and, you know, when it's 125 degrees outside, I don't think anyone feels like building a gigantic castle. It's just kind of like, push it to the side. How about we just do some quick houses so we don't catch on fire or something. But I like the castle look. Maybe if we go to a colder climate, we may see some castles, but we'll just have to go ahead and draw some here. So the desert may not be the best place to build castles, or it could be. It's just not easy. But what the desert is good for is subterranean mining, digging down deep into the earth and creating secret bases where the government can do tests and experiments. Well, I guess you could dig subterranean tunnels anywhere on the planet. It's just that it's a little more mysterious when it's in the desert. It's a little bit more hidden in the mountains. You dig a tunnel. If you go up high enough into some of these mountains, there is definitely some alien activity. In fact, if you look at some of the artwork from ancient civilizations and people, there's some interesting little hieroglyphic type of art, which I'm assuming has to do with the aliens that those people saw at the time, and so of course they're going to carve it into the rock. Whenever I see ancient symbols or little characters that have been carved out inside of caves or on mountains or little buildings, I just assume that they're aliens, okay? That makes the most sense. Who knows what happened thousands of years ago? Maybe, you know, these people could have seen some alien invasions happening and they just tried putting it down so maybe future people could figure it out. But we're going to get on to the building of castles here. Look, I'm going to complete the Empire, which is the Art Monarch estate, and we'll go ahead and make some massive castles here.